This is the Hex Hollow Murder.
In the hardscrabble hills of York County, Pennsylvania, German immigrant communities carried strong traditions of powwow folk healing, a blend of Christian prayers, herbal medicine, and old-world magic. But in 1928, this way of life fueled one of the most shocking murders in American history. It started with curses. One night in 1926, John Rehmeyer woke up and turned right into his wife and daughter. Their eyes glowed red like demons. He could feel their icy breath on his neck as they whispered, "Get up, you have to die tonight." John was understandably freaked out, but figured he'd just had a bad dream. Then the same thing happened again the next night, and when it kept happening, he finally went to see Dr. Nelson Rehmeyer, a local farmer who also dabbled in folk healing. Some said Rehmeyer's remedies helped, but many suspected he used curses to harm his patients as well. After seeing the doctor, John's nightmares stopped, but then he got sick with a mystery ailment. His farm animals suddenly died left and right, and his crops failed. Blaming Rehmeyer, he demanded a refund. But when Rehmeyer refused, John became convinced he'd actually been cursed. So in 1928, he made a horrifying plan. Along with 2 accomplices, he would break into Rehmeyer's farmhouse, find his curse book, and burn it. On November 1st, armed with guns and clubs, they snuck into Rehmeyer's house. The doctor and his family were asleep. They attacked him, beat him, and forced him outside, all the while demanding to know where his curse book was hidden. When Rehmeyer wouldn't cooperate, they shot him dead. Then, to make sure he didn't come back, they rolled him into a hay wagon and burned it along with his body. Locals knew immediately what had happened. In the aftermath, people claimed that Rehmeyer's house, known as Hex Hollow, was cursed. Over the years, strange fires broke out on the property. Bad luck befell anyone who stayed there, and ghostly figures were spotted in the windows. So when the police found Rehmeyer's bones in the ashes, the whole county wanted justice. The trial that followed was straight out of a sensationalist thriller. Witnesses testified to strange lights and sounds coming from Rehmeyer's house. Others told of seeing cloven-hoofed animals, shadowy figures, and a mysterious woman in a Victorian nightgown. The prosecution argued that Rehmeyer had done dark magic, and the defense argued he was just a poor farmer trying to help people. But no one could deny the defendant's brutal actions. Eventually, Rehmeyer and his accomplices were convicted and sent to prison. But as for Hex Hollow, rumors persist. Was it really cursed? Well, the legend lives on. Whether you call them witches, warlocks, sorcerers, or conjurers, witchcraft and sorcery are humankind's oldest explanations for the unexplainable. We've been fascinated and horrified by magic since the dawn of civilization. But few stories capture the creepiness of witchcraft better than the Hex Hollow murders. Let's take a closer look at what makes this tale so terrifying. First off, it's one of those rare cases where belief in the supernatural directly caused real murder. Usually it's a witch or sorcerer accused of causing harm who suffers at the hands of an angry mob. But here the alleged victim took matters into his own hands. This story shows how potent folk beliefs can be when taken to the extreme. People weren't just afraid of Rehmeyer's magic. They were convinced he was actively cursing them. That's why John sought him out, not to get cured, but to get revenge. The Hex Hollow murders prove how easily rationality can be thrown aside when faced with illness, grief, and desperation. Second, the rural isolated setting of Rehmeyer's farmhouse adds a chilling layer of atmosphere. Imagine a lonely house tucked away in the woods. You can practically feel the isolation oozing from the walls. Now add flickering candlelight, strange herbs, and whispers of dark magic. Suddenly that house becomes a portal into another world. The secluded location makes Rehmeyer's rituals seem hidden and secretive. It suggests there are things going on behind closed doors that ordinary people aren't supposed to see. This secrecy only builds suspense and heightens our fascination with the unknown. When we don't know what's lurking in the shadows, our imaginations run wild. Third, the blend of Christianity, folklore, and witchcraft creates a unique sense of dread. Think about it. Most of us associate witchcraft with paganism or Satanism. But during the colonial period, many European immigrants, like the Pennsylvania Dutch, combined their traditional folk beliefs with Christianity. This fusion results in a form of witchcraft that's deeply rooted in superstition and local folklore. It blurs the lines between good and evil and makes the threat of magic all the more unsettling. If magic is lurking within a church service or a prayer for healing, who knows what otherworldly forces might be unleashed? It turns the familiar into something sinister, and that's genuinely frightening. Fourth, the testimony at Rehmeyer's trial showcases the power of suggestion and mass hysteria. The story is full of shadowy figures, glowing eyes, and ghostly apparitions. These vivid descriptions paint a picture of a community gripped by fear and folklore. It's like a game of telephone where rumors and superstitions spread until they become distorted and out of control. By the time these supposed sightings were recounted in court, they probably bore little resemblance to what actually happened. But that doesn't make them any less creepy. These testimonies reveal how easily fear can warp our perceptions. If enough people believe something is happening, it starts to feel real whether it is or not. Finally, the ending leaves us with a lingering sense of unease. Even though Rehmeyer's murderers were convicted, the legend of Hex Hollow endured. Strange occurrences continued to be reported, and the house remained shrouded in mystery. This open-ended conclusion allows our imaginations to fill in the blanks. If the curse wasn't lifted, what other horrors might be brewing inside Rehmeyer's farmhouse? Perhaps the ghosts of his victims still wander the halls, or malevolent spirits feed on the fear of those who enter. Maybe the house itself is a character in the story, a sentient entity that draws in unsuspecting victims and holds them captive forever. You don't have to wonder for long. Rehmeyer's farmhouse still stands in Pennsylvania's ghost-filled countryside, and if its walls could speak, they'd probably share some truly spine-chilling tales. While the murders were tragic and disturbing, they've become part of local lore, drawing in thrill-seekers and paranormal investigators alike. Some say they've experienced strange phenomena while exploring Hex Hollow, from disembodied voices to unexplained illnesses. Whether these accounts are true or false, they only add to the allure of the legend. The enduring popularity of haunted houses and ghost tours shows that we have a morbid fascination with the unknown. We love being scared silly as long as we can rationalize it away as make-believe. But when stories like the Hex Hollow Murders blur the line between fiction and reality, we get a chilling glimpse into the darkness that can lurk even in the most ordinary places. So do you dare visit Hex Hollow for yourself? Would you risk spending a night in Rehmeyer's farmhouse to see if the legends are true? Or are some mysteries best left unsolved? Let me know your thoughts down below. For more unsettling tales of witchcraft gone wrong, check out my podcast, My Favorite Murder. True crime fans will love our weekly dose of dark humor and true crime. New episodes drop every Tuesday. Just search for My Favorite Murder wherever you listen to podcasts.
Thank you for watching.